Gentlemen, good morning. Nice to be here with you, Rob, Tom, Rory. What's the name of this project?
We're calling this Maker Compass Studio.
And what are you doing here? What does that mean?
What we're doing is giving makers, people who make things, a chance to tell their stories and to share them.
What is the finished piece or pieces that you would produce for a maker?
In a nutshell, we create little films about makers, what they make and how they make what they make and why they make what they make.
I think this medium of video storytelling feels right.
And it feels right now,
Feels right now.
especially in light of the last few years and what happened during COVID. I think also people's need to create, their ability to kind of step back from what their jobs were in the past and think about what's really important. I think also the need for authenticity, for real connection, I think is important now. Those things kind of all intersect in this time period, and that got us really interested in telling these stories.
So you're making films here, short films, beautiful films, but what is unique about your approach to make them as impactful as possible?
Well, for one, we try to do it from a place of being informed and strategically smart. We try to figure out, and particularly Tom, spends time figuring out what is it we need to say. What does this person have that is unique? What does this person make that has a story behind it? And figure out how to express that. We shoot everything as if it's a movie, like, cinema quality stuff. We kind of bring high production value that you would normally associate with an advertising agency or a very expensive kind of production, but we do it on a smaller scale. And we make that accessible to people.
How is it that you three gentlemen can produce something of such beautiful quality without all the trappings of a production company, a director, a head of cinematography, an ad agency, a PR person? How can you do that? What do you bring to this project that allows you to produce these beautiful films with just the three of you?
All three of us, we each have our individual roles, and we're all really good at that, and we all like each other. So it works well because there's a wealth of experience. We know what we're doing, we get it done, and at the end of the day, we've had a good day.
Rory, how does your camera open up ways to follow or explore your curiosity and creativity?
For me, a camera is a front row seat to life. It gives me the opportunity to meet people that I wouldn't typically meet. It gives me the opportunity to go to places that I wouldn't be able to typically go. And it gives me a finished product that I can look at and enjoy. I just love creating photographs. I love being behind a camera. I love creating prints in the darkroom, tangible, physical, handmade prints, be them silver, platinum, photogravures, or any other kind of tangible print. I told myself once, get a hobby. So I took up woodwork, and that was great. I built 5 wooden cameras. I love music very much, so I took up the guitar. I was terrible, so I doubled down on photographing musicians. At the end of the day, photographs and cameras are the language that I speak. That's the space I want to be in. I'm lucky enough that I've always done that for a living, but I think that luck also comes from being very passionate about it. So in a nutshell, photography is my passion. Other hobbies come and go, but they always end up with a photograph.
Tom, what about you? What do you make that makes you happy and joyful?
I love story. and creativity. I guess by training, I come from art and I come from music. And I found that for me, art and an approach to art was a form of participation. It was a way to connect with what inspired me. And I've been inspired by lots of different things. As a kid, I was inspired by the Pillsbury Doughboy and the Honey Nut Cheerios Bee, and Robert Rauschenberg I learned about through my dad and my mom taking me to see the paintings in the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And what I began to recognize is that I was seeing those things maybe for the first time, and I would later go on to work with those people and those characters. And the idea of dreaming something up, dreaming up a world that you can step into, I think has always been such infinite richness for me.
Rob, what do you like to make? What do you create to make you feel fulfilled?
Yeah, I've always been into making stuff. It all goes back to what I was doing when I was 3. I was always drawing, and I was painting, and I was playing with Legos, and I loved any kind of machinery. When Star Wars came out, I was totally turned on by that. I was into architecture. I was into illustration. Eventually, I found advertising through looking through old magazines in my dad's garage, and I fell in love with advertising because it was strategic, and it was beautiful, and it was smart, and it solved a problem. The first class in my first day of college was a class called Advertising Layout and Book Design. And interestingly, I've spent my entire career doing advertising and book design. So I've written a couple of books that are basically design books, an architecture design book and an advertising illustration book. I've made documentary films. I've made lots of television commercials and web-based videos. Editing, the actual act of making a film, is endlessly fascinating. Deirdre, what is it that you make?
I've always been an artist, drawing, painting, calligraphy, from when I was a little kid. You can find pictures of me when I was 4 or 5 years old, sitting at a table with my head down, drawing. Then when I got into college, I discovered I'd always been good at mechanical things, and I discovered metalwork. So I went from being a painting major to being a silversmith and sculptor. So I did bronze sculpture, and I did silversmithing, and I really like that. But as happens, you have to make a living. So I worked for some jewelers for a while, and then I got into computer graphics, and the jewelry kind of fell aside, but I kept it in. Little times I would make waxes for people, make wedding rings, things like that. Then I got into making with computers. Right now, I have the lovely opportunity to be a photo retoucher at ILM. I get to make things for Star Wars.
That's pretty cool.
I like it. And on the side, I'm a photographer. I do stained glass, little woodwork. I like to work on my motorcycle. I'm a percussionist and drummer and singer, and we'll try just about anything musically, and have done studio recordings and get a lot of joy out of that as well.
I think it's important for people to be able to express themselves creatively, to be able to make things. We want to showcase that and reward that and help people be successful in that. We're in a media landscape now where one individual or a small number of people can reach people in so many different ways. And video is the way to communicate stories most persuasively. You can use it on your website. You can use it in social media. You can buy ad space for it. You can put it on television.
It shows up on monitors in retail locations. It shows up on our phones. One of the things that we're excited about, and we want more people to do, is for customers to be able to point their phone at a QR code next to a product they're interested in and see the story on their phone of that product coming into being. Videos and filmed content shows up everywhere.
It's a passion project that we're having a lot of fun with, but we're also making a lot of films that are functional for our clients.
So where can I go, gentlemen, to find Maker Compass Studio?
MakerCompassStudio.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, Vimeo, Instagram, and YouTube. I want to thank Deirdre for being here and giving us a chance to explain what it is we do. It's a privilege to have her here because I think, as we've all thought ourselves, she's one of the people that we think of when we think about creativity and making things. So it's been an honor to have you here. Thanks, Deirdre.
Thank you, Deirdre.
Thank you, Deirdre.
And I thank you, gentlemen, and it's been a great journey learning about the passion that you have for supplying a beautiful film to other makers about what they do and what they're passionate about.